Hello, hello, and welcome to Inklings with Irena, the weekly energy show connecting you to your intuitive guidance system. And today I want to talk about how to stop shoulding all over yourself. I love that play on words. You've probably heard it before in your travels. If you haven't, I'm excited to bring it to you. If we haven't met yet, my name is Irena Miller, and I'm an intuitive energy guide and energy alchemist, and I have been guiding empaths and visionaries for over 2 decades in navigating the world of shoulding. But basically how to navigate all of these big feelings that come up, these moments of anger and frustration. Where are they coming from? Why is it happening? Why does it keep happening? Why can't I just get over it? All right already. And I use a variety of techniques to help with this. Everything from energy healing to tuning forks to tarot cards to astrology. For me, I really love bringing together these sacred practices to create a very unique recipe to serve you. And that's what I'm doing with Inklings and the show today. So I've noticed this week from a lot of my friends and clients that old wounds are coming to the surface. And when we kind of circle back around to similar experiences, what happens inevitably, I've discovered, is we kind of should I should be over this by now. Why does this keep bothering me? I shouldn't let it get to me. Why do I let it get to me? I should have known. How did I make that mistake again? How did I let that person into my life? How did I not double check the price on something before I bought it? It's a funny story behind that. I have to tell you that for another day. But, we beat ourselves up, and it can be so incredibly frustrating because when we get stuck in that should energy, what ends up happening is we kind of it's kind of like Debbie Downer from SNL. If you've ever seen that skit, Rachel Dratch, I think that's how you say her last name, Rachel Dratch, is so hysterical with that. Somebody comes along and they're optimistic, or they say, I hope the weather holds out for the wedding, and Rachel Dratch's character, the Debbie Downer, will say, well, it's forecasted to rain. And then it's like, wah, wah. It's kind of like it brings the whole group down. So when these moments come up of shoulding, when we're back in a similar experience, I want to give you a little energy recipe just to kind of help you shift and transmute the experience so that you don't have to get stuck in that wah, wah energy. Like, why is it when it's raining, it always pours? Murphy's Law, if it will go wrong, it does go wrong. Oh my gosh, that could go on and on, right? I can hear all of the phrases coming back in my head now, playing on repeat. I had a teacher who was so cute. She's like, just eject the tape. Imagine you have like a little eject button right here. Eject the tape. Now I guess we'd have to drag it to a trash can, delete it. But what I want to invite you to do, the first thing, I call this the stop shoulding all over yourself a recipe. And I love to play with little alliterations, the shuns. The first thing is to bring attention to the situation. Catch yourself when you're falling into this energy of just wah, wah. Like, here I am again. How did this happen? Why aren't things looking up? This is an opportunity for healing. If we've circled back around to an experience, it's because there's an opportunity to kind of shift to the next level. And yes, it can definitely be painful and uncomfortable at times. And many times transformation, it causes some kind of friction. In order to, the alchemists knew, in order to create change, heat needed to be applied, either heat or cold. We needed something to shift the cells at a cellular level. We needed to shift the energy, in order to create gold out of another metal. So when these uncomfortable frictional moments come up, give yourself a moment to breathe and just pause. That attention to the moment, that attention to what's going on is going to give you an opportunity to start to spy the pattern. Like, here I am again. I was in a rush. And so therefore, I just checked out quickly without double checking, let's say, the price tags on things. Or, I love to help and I love to serve. So of course I just opened up my heart and connected with this person, not being aware of certain details and patterns and habits that were there, like in previous relationships. So you have that moment of attention. Then intention is the next step. Intention, I love it because another definition for that word is a healing process or plan. So not only it is the mindfulness and the focus that we apply to something, but intention is the healing process. So once you're kind of aware of the pattern, you circle back around to it. It's an opportunity to heal. Offer yourself a moment to kind of say, okay, how did I end up here? What can I do to be more present, grounded, and offer love, but not take on these hurts and pains of other people? So that intention is a moment where you start to come up with your own particular plan. So this is the point where, anger and frustration might be stirring and moving within you, but you offer yourself just that brief moment to say, okay, my intention is I don't want to feel like this anymore. I want to be a loving, helpful, optimistic person filled with hope. So going forward, I'm going to recognize this pattern in myself. And then the final shun is action. So we take action on that. We practice it in baby steps. Many times, the frustration comes because either our goal or our plan is so big that we try to do it all at once, and it's like, oh, it didn't work, and we decide to kind of throw our hands up in the air and say, that's it didn't work, forget it. And it's along the lines of people, I love it when you think of like dieting or getting in shape, losing weight, and it's that idea of like, okay, in 2 weeks, I'm going to look like this. I'm going to have all of my habits and patterns mastered, and I'm going to be super fit and fab. And then you realize, okay, well, 2 weeks, there's not much of a shift on the scale or in the pictures, maybe 2 months. And then you realize, okay, well, there's a dedicated process to see that real change. It happens with baby steps over time. It doesn't happen just overnight. So offer yourself grace in that moment. You're going through the healing process. So to kind of sum this up, to help you navigate the world of when the shoulds pop up, take a moment to just pay attention. Notice what patterns and habits are being repeated, and they'll most likely be different because when we circle back around, it's more of a spiral. We're not in the exact same spot. Something has changed and shifted. If you're doing the energy work along with me each week, then you are definitely making shifts and changes. So know that you're not going to be in the same exact spot. It'll be a different experience. So give yourself a moment to spy the pattern. And then the next thing is intention. What's your healing plan? Are you going to find an outlet for all of this anger and frustration that comes up, going for a walk or a run or a healing energy session? How are you going to move forward and be aware of this pattern when it comes up to make different choices and actions? And then finally, action. We take little tiny baby steps every day to strengthen our resolve, to strengthen essentially our energetic field and boundaries. So thank you so much for tuning in with me. Let me know how you're doing. This has been a fun, energetic experience. We just had an eclipse happen on Monday, and now we're kind of in that experience afterwards. And if you were paying attention to the eclipse, let me know. Put a little moon in the comments below, because I know that some people were able to see that solar eclipse in the world. All right, so if you're looking for more energy recipes like this, definitely click the link and let's continue to play. All right, catch you all on the flip side. Mwah! Bye, guys.